Smith and James Carville. James Carville is tired of what Stephen A. Smith has been saying. And he flat out calls him out. Play that clip, Rob, if you could, with James Carville, and then watch this one here. So Stephen A.'s been very vocal, calling out Kamala, calling out everybody, calling out everyone on the left. And James here, he's having a sip of milk or some called beer. And go ahead, Rob, play the clip.
Get you a warm glass and shut the hell up.
He don't know his ass.
No, go back a little bit. That was Adam. That's not James.
Tell the difference.
Go ahead.
When it comes to politics, he don't know his ass from a hole in the ground. He's on that running his goddamn mouth about how he may have to run as a Democrat because there's nothing left of the Democratic Party. There's no talent. Stephen A., are you shitting me? I mean, you say you're friends with Wes Moore and you say you're friends with Josh Shapiro. Well, I'm friends with both of them. I think they're really extraordinary, talented people. I got news for you, dude. There's 6 or 7 other people in the Democratic Party that are just that talented. So before you start running your fucking mouth off about politics, a topic of which you really don't know anything about, you ought to sit back and think about it and call some people and run it by them. But don't let your political stupidity stand in the way of your outspoken and I think often insightful views when it comes to American sports, of which I think you are an expert at. And
pause it
if
right
you
there.
know where,
Okay, now go to Stephen.
Let's get into some carnage. This is what the show is made for, everybody. Come sit down, get comfortable. Stephen A. Smith versus James Carville. And James Carville's been around for a while. He's wearing the LSU gear. We've got maybe some racial undertones. You can't ignore it that's not how I live, but that's how Stephen A. lives. This is Patrick Bet David reacting. Let's figure this one out.
Stephen A. and his response.
How condescending.
Okay. Yeah. Let Stephen A. play. Go for it. Rob, how long is it?
I cut out all the fat. This gets right to the
Okay,
portion.
go for it.
Be so rude. You know, dropping F-bombs and going off like that. I mean, I know that's your nature.
Ooh.
I understand that, but
that's your nature.
Let's just say 2 can do that, you know.
Oh.
I mean, if you really wanted to get raw, ain't nobody hiding from that.
Let's go.
I could be that way. It's just that my mama taught me to respect my elders. And you are 80 years of age, if I remember correctly. And I'm trying to be respectful, so I'm not going to come at you the way that you came at me. I thought that was completely unnecessary. That's number 1. Number 2, I religiously say I'm no political aficionado. I religiously say I don't know politics like that.
True.
I read. I watch the news. I'm a conscientious observer. But I do have to ask you a question, Mr. James Carville, albeit rhetorically. You do know that you're talking to a voter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could that be one of the reasons why y'all lost? Just a thought. Because you sound like one of those old curmudgeons that want things to stay or be the way that they used to be, and you're resentful, harboring an abundance of animosity because you're not being heard. That's not Stephen A. Smith's fault, sir. That's that damn Democratic Party that I was talking about.
Okay. So now, Stephen A., how far are you going to go with
You
this?
see, they shouldn't listen to me. Do you realize, James Carville, that means they shouldn't have listened to you either?
Yeah.
Which makes no sense because we were both right. Because guess what? What I was saying is what you were saying. I saw you on Fox News. I saw you on CNN. I saw you on your podcast before the election.
Yeah.
Where the hell you think I got some of the stuff from? When you were talking about the Democratic Party, I'm making that up.
You can pause it right
I'm making
True. Stephen A's true.
Stephen A., they don't like you. It's that simple, bro.
He knows that, PBD.
They don't like you. The same way they don't like RFK, who's now in Trump's administration. The same way they didn't like Tulsi. The same way they don't like Rogan. The same way they don't like Musk. The same way they don't like any of us. Because either you get in line or shut the hell up is what he's saying. I wouldn't say that to you. That's what he's saying. And that's not in your nature. But if you're going to shine in that party, you have to lock it up and listen to what they got to tell you. And it's not in your DNA. It's just not.
Ooh, so it looks like, to me, PBD is saying, come to my side. Because, you know, the MAGA side, the PBD side, it's really anyone. It's anyone ostracized from the left. Eric Adams can come on through. As long as you support, wait for it, as long as you support the Dreidel Nation, Ben Shapiro's country, you're good. So come on over, Stephen A. Smith. That's what he's saying. We don't do that to you over here. He has a point.
That's not in your DNA. So what are you going to do? Create a new community that's been tried.
Yep.
They don't like your type. So you have a couple choices. One, try to fight it and see what they do. You ain't going to get their money. You're not. You need the money. You're not going to get their money. You don't have that kind of money. You need billions. You need $1.5 billion. They're not going to give you the money. None of those guys are going to support you financially. They're not. Because the candidates on the left are usually bought by someone with favors. Yesterday I had Nicolas Ferreira here from Brazil. And he's talking about how this guy named Kassab, Gilberto Kassab, who is the leader of the Worker Party in Brazil, who used to be the mayor of Sao Paulo, who is the most powerful man in Brazil right now because he is the leader of the political party that's on the center. And the center means you give them money and favors, they'll do anything you want them to do, but they have a lot of control. Right now they have a lot of control. He says, my worry is the closer he gets to Bolsonaro, he's going to ask for a favor. I wonder how big that favor is and how dirty that favor is, that it contradicts our values and principles. Are you going to do that? I don't know if you will. So you know what's going to happen to you? You're eventually, when you're in your room, in your house, by yourself, nobody else around you, you're eventually going to be talking to your mom, because I know how much she means to you, and having a conversation saying, what do I do, Mom? Do I sit this one out? Do I trust my gut and go? What do I do? If you came as a center-right candidate, which I think where you are, you know you are. You ain't going to say it publicly, but you know what I'm saying? You're like a center-right guy, dude. You know what I'm saying? If you came out as a center-right guy, I think it'd be interesting to see you run in 2028 and see what happens.
Ooh, man, after the election, I had no idea it was going to be so fun, man. During the election season with Trump and Kamala, it wasn't really fun to me, man. The memes weren't as fun. Everything wasn't as like hype and live. And now that the Democrats are falling apart, we've got all kinds of beef on the side. I mean, that's kind of fun. That's not substantive. But then now we have substantive beef. Stephen A. Smith hinting that he's going to run for president. If you don't know, that's the backdrop why he said you need $1.5 billion if you're going to run for president seriously. And he said, they don't like your kind over there, Stephen A. Smith, James Carville. And he said, shut the hell up. And Stephen A. Smith said, I don't want to go there with your old ass. Let me know what you think. Who got the best of that exchange?
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.